Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. This is absolutely me not buying orchids, and it's definitely not me getting a new genus for the grow room, but it could be. When I decided I'd go for a Renanthera, I had a choice of a couple, some of which were hybrids, which were virtually impossible to get. So I just naturally assumed that wasn't going to happen. But I had a couple of species in mind, and one of which was Monachica, I think it is. And looking at pictures, they seem to need to be a reasonable size to bloom. And although there are some available at a reasonable price, they looked small. But then this morning, I was looking at Danny's video, which is everything in bloom in February, I think it is, and she's got a Renanthera Monachico in bloom, and it's not that big, which means I could get one now, because I know where there is one, or some. But this particular variety has one of the largest flowers. I'll put a picture up, and it's also red. So we've not only got a new genus, experiment for this year, it's also red. And given that my Brassivola little stars have gone to a new home, I have space up where the Vandas live. So I've already got a place for this. Let's see what we got first. This isn't going to be a giant of a plant, but hopefully, I mean, it's been sold as flowering size, and from a seller that I've normally trusted to believe, if they say it's flowering size, then fair enough. Right, there we go. Well, it's a new looking plant for me. The first thing that sticks out like a sore thumb is the colour of the root tips, which are a lovely golden colour. Now, I hope that's how they're supposed to be, but that's not a bad looking little plant. It's got a new leaf forming at the moment, 4 mature leaves. That may not be blooming size, it may need to get a few more leaves first, and I'll have to do a check, but being a Vandaceous type, let's get the box out of the way, being a Vandaceous type, I need to know with this particular Vandaceous type, should the roots be exposed, or should they be, you know, would it be okay in a pot? Now this one looks like it's been recently potted. What it's in is not old stuff. At least it doesn't look like it. Let's get it out first. That's the holding it in the box stake, not holding the plant up stake. And yeah, that's in fresh media. Now that could mean that speciotic plants actually got it bare rooted and they've potted it themselves relatively recently. That's a possibility. But that is, if that is true, that now gives me a sample of their own bark that they are selling on eBay now. If that's an example of what they're saying, that's flipping good. That is rock hard and quite large pieces. So if I ever see them again, which is unusual, but there will be an event later in the year that I'm definitely going to go to, and they, as far as I know, they will be there. They were last year. So I don't know, below ground I don't know what I've got. No idea. I may have roots, I may have no roots, but what I have got is 3 good strong new aerial roots. So I'll need to do a little bit of homework on this and find out what it comes down to is how does this like going dry in between waterings like a normal Vanda, you know, wet dry cycle in an ideal world daily, yeah, in the growing season. Is this of the same ilk? Or would this prefer not to dry out? That's all I'm after. If it would prefer not to dry out, it might need to go like in an open basket with some media of some description. But I'll do a bit of work on that. And oh, you're going to want to know what it is, aren't you? This is Renanthera storiei. It's got I-E-I on the end. Storiei. Oh, I don't know. I know somebody who will probably tell me, but we'll worry about that at another time. Yeah, okay, not a bad plant, and as Renantheras go, not a bad price either, because they can come in. There's a lovely hybrid, but the only place it's available is at one of the German nurseries, and they want 40 quid for it. And then they want about another 14 quid to flipping post it. Now, I'm not paying that much for something that is not seen by me, if you see what I mean. If I was at a show and I could pick it up and turn it upside down, and it suited what I wanted, then maybe I would pay that price, because I'd know exactly what I was getting. But when you buy from a nursery, you very rarely see a picture of the plant. And in addition to that, I still firmly believe that if there is a nursery that is open to the public, the best plants are going to be saved for the public, not their online sales. Just think about it. As a business thing, you're going to send all your best plants off in boxes, and those that aren't so good for your nursery that people walk round? Yeah, of course they do. I wouldn't do it that way round, I must admit. But then I wouldn't like to pass on a plant that wasn't very good unless I specifically said so. And some of my plants that I'm getting rid of soon are not ideal plants. They're not in perfect condition, but the people having them will know that. They'll see pictures before I send them off. Okay, so that's my new plant. Do a bit of homework on it. It's actually been watered relatively recently, because the fibrous stuff that's farther down in the pot is actually damp. So it doesn't need any water. All I need to do is find out, does it need the same light as the Vandas I've already got? Or a bit less? Can't have a bit more, can it? That is the limit. So does it like a little bit less? I know it likes to stay warm, so it might not be happy in the winter. But being up near the roof is the warmest place. The heater provides heat during the winter. That hot air rises, so the roof is still the warmest place, and in this case the brightest place. So we'll see what we can do. So there we go, me not buying orchids. And now that I've seen Danny's in bloom on the size of her plant, I might go and get the Monachico, which is it's a bit of a nuisance having to pay 2 lots of postage from the same place very close together. Anyway, we'll see. I'll work on that. But that's my new plant anyway. It won't be the only one this year. When I keep saying I'm not buying orchids, what I mean is I'm not going out getting orchids in droves to fill up the gaps that I've now got. That was not the idea of having the gaps. But there still will be an odd orchid now and again that I take a fancy to. Unbloomed, so youngish plant that may come into bloom possibly this season. I suspect it will be next season when it's put on a couple more leaves and these roots have advanced a bit. We shall see. See you next time. Bye for now.